Hello, my name's Professor Jo Applin. I'm currently head of the History of Art department here at the Courtauld, and I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about the Courtauld, to tell you something of our history, of our current situation, and a little bit about what it is that makes our teaching and research into the history of art and its objects so unique and I think really special. So just to give you a little background, the Courtauld is an independent college of the University of London. It was founded in 1932 and as the UK's first university department devoted to the study of art. It's quite a unique place. We were founded by Samuel Courtauld, who was Viscount Lee of Fareham, and Sir Robert Witt, and they both believed in the importance of art and the power it has in societies across the world, and were absolutely committed to the idea that there is a need to study and understand the ways in which it works, the ways in which art helps us think about the world and our place within it. As a small institution, we currently have around 600 students, and that includes from our BA degree in the history of art through to our master's degree in the history of art and curating the art museum, as well as our postgraduate students who work in conservation and technology. Since January 2019, all of our teaching and learning at the Courtauld, including our book library, have been housed in a really spacious, purpose-built educational building in Vernon Square, which is in King's Cross, London. So we're about a 25 minute walk from Somerset House, which is our official home on the Strand in central London. And we're here while that permanent home at Somerset House is being transformed as part of a major project, which is involved in opening up our gallery and collections, as well as all of our teaching facilities and teaching space, so that many more people can visit us, can use our spaces, so that we have a much more accessible and public-facing gallery. It's quite an exciting moment in our history. Now, before COVID-19 broke out, there were opportunities for you to come and visit our campus, to meet us in person, to meet me in person over a cup of tea, and we could talk in a little more informal ways about the things I'm going to talk about now. We've had to suspend them, but as soon as we can reintroduce those, we will be, and you'll be invited along. But until then, we want to give you something of a virtual experience of the Courtauld, and the things I'm talking to you about now are exactly the things I would be talking to you about if we were in a lecture theatre together in Vernon Square. But in the meantime, you can find lots of images of our campus on the internet, on the Courtauld website, and also on our website, you can look at the Open Day Hub, where you'll find out a lot more about our campus and about the local area where we're situated. We're like an 8-minute walk from King's Cross St Pancras Station. We're just 10 minutes from the Angel at Islington. But more importantly, I think for us, we're a 10-15 minute walk to many of the other colleges that belong to the University of London. We're kind of on a bigger campus within Bloomsbury, which houses SOAS, UCL, parts of King's, Birkbeck, and of course the major University of London Student Union, which is on Mallet Street, which is just 10-12 minutes walk from here. Now, the size of the Courtauld means that we are able to offer teaching expertise across an enormously wide range of periods, geographies, and types of object. We teach from the late antique world right through to contemporary art that's being made now. But we're also small enough as a community that we feel very much that we all kind of belong together with one set of aims and ambitions and kind of learning outcomes for our student body. We all study, research, and teach about art in all forms and media, from the smallest, most personal painting or object to the design and evolution of entire cities, so large-scale public architectural projects, or the tiniest piece of work made by an individual many hundreds of years ago. All of these receive the kind of sustained attention in our classrooms, regardless of where they're from, who made them, and why. But the questions the questions about why and how these objects work, circulate, function in society, in the world, remain critical and central to the work that we do as art historians. Now, you'll probably know that we have a small but major gallery, the Courtauld Gallery, with a collection that stretches from the early Renaissance through to the 20th century and into contemporary. And it really does contain unrivaled collections of Impressionist and post-Impressionist paintings, really significant, internationally renowned works, which, I mean, that just belong to our collection and that we can spend time with, from Degas, Van Gogh, Manet, Pissarro, and we're just showing you some of our kind of big hitters here. And this is a small selection of works that belong to the Samuel Courtauld collection of art. Now, while the gallery is closed as part of this major refurbishment, we have a number of national and international partnerships. So our collection is moving around the country and around the world. They've gone to the National Gallery in Japan. They've been in Paris for a long time, part of an Islamic metalwork tour. And we've worked with lots of regional museums around the UK. So I was very excited to go to my family home in Essex and to see some Courtauld works on display there too. Now, as a student, some of your teaching may well take place in the gallery, not just the Courtauld Gallery, the range of galleries that are available to us in London, but we try to work closely with objects in our collection when we can. But there are also excitingly opportunities for you to volunteer, and we have a very successful volunteer scheme where students are trained to give short public talks to visitors to the gallery. And this is a really exciting form of career development. It's great for your confidence, and it's a really important part of the gallery's dissemination of its work, to have our students be able to give informed talks to a wide range of visitors. Now, if you're planning to join the Courtauld in October 2021, our gallery should be open by then, but obviously due to COVID and building restrictions that have been imposed because of that, we can't guarantee that at this moment. It might be a bit delayed, but it will be opening over the course of your period of study, and we're very much hopeful that that will be open by then. So here are some of our students busy at work in our book library. This is where so much of your studying and thinking happens. Currently, it's happening virtually. We have a click and collect service where librarians are bringing the books to you, but in normal times, outside of COVID, you're in there finding the works for yourself. You see as well, we do book displays for Black History Month, for International Women's Day, and we try to kind of spotlight different parts of the collection for you. So as well as the texts that you need to read for your classrooms, some of those are available online for you through the online resources, but many more books, exhibition catalogues, theoretical texts, historical books are available for you to browse and to take out of the book library in Vernon Square. We've got 200,000 books, journals, exhibition catalogues, a really amazing collection of exhibition catalogues from around the world that you can access, focused on art history and various related subjects. But of course, Courtauld students also have access to all of the printed collections and electronic resources of the Senate House Library as a member of the University of London. Also, other specialist libraries which our students always use, such as at the Warburg Institute and the Institute of Historical Studies. Again, they're all within this kind of campus of University of London universities around Bloomsbury. I should also say that the British Library, the nation's biggest collection of books, is just a 10-minute walk away from our campus at Vernon Square, and many students use that. They use that as a study space to access all kinds of books. It's an amazing resource to have on our doorstep. In terms of digital library resources, as a Courtauld student, you're able to access most of your required reading. So if I'm teaching you and I want you to read these 2 articles and this essay in an exhibition catalogue, we try to put those on what we call our virtual learning environment, the VLE, so that you can read those, on your computers and so on. And we give you links as well to other journals and texts and things you can read online. We scan key chapters of books for you and so on. But as well, there's a range of electronic resources available to you through the Courtauld Library website, through the Senate House University of London website. And there's lots of training provided by our librarians in how to make the most of these resources. It's quite something. There's been a revolution really in how we access knowledge and information that is no longer just tied to scouring library shelves, but has an entire digital realm of material available to us, which allows us to expand the kinds of texts and works that we study as well. And this is an important part of your training and study as an art historian. But in terms of our own collections, as well as it's really a world-renowned library for the study of art. I should say that it's a specialist art library that people from around the world both envy and come and use, that is just downstairs in Vernon Square for you to access. But as well, we have two other world-renowned collections. I'll just mention them briefly to you. These are things that we're really recognised for. This is the Witt Library, which is a collection of over 2 million photographs and reproductions of Western paintings, drawings and engravings from around 1200 to the present day. We also have the Conway Library, which is a collection of photographs of world architecture, architectural drawings, sculpture and manuscripts. And we're currently in the midst of a massive project to digitise over 3.3 million of these images in their entirety to make them available to the whole world. So historically, people have accessed these collections by coming to visit the Courtauld, to the Witt and the Conway libraries, but with a huge volunteer scheme to digitise all of our holdings as a kind of access for anybody who wants to study those works. We also have an amazing collection of prints and drawings, as well as other artworks, paintings, sculptures in our collection. Because the Courtauld houses, as well as all of those paintings that I talked to you about, one of the most significant collections of works on paper in the UK, approximately 7,000 drawings and watercolours and 26,000 prints. And these range from the late Middle Ages through to the 20th century avant-garde. It's quite something. And it includes works by artists such as Dürer, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Rembrandt and Turner. And it's got coverage of a number of different national schools and periods. And our students continue to have access to these while we're at Vernon Square. And we do this through what we've called our object study room, where faculty, lecturers call up works from the collection, which then our curating staff arrange to be delivered to Vernon Square. And you see here some students looking at some prints in person here. So you really get to kind of understand the things themselves. Yes, working on screens is transformative in terms of what we can do, but nothing really substitutes the thing itself. And that's something we recognise. Once the gallery reopens, prints and drawings will remain there, which is where they've historically been and where we go and access them, the same as the paintings and so on. But for now, we have this object study room for you to use. Now, another really important part of our community is the research forum. And what I'm doing here is talking to you about some of the things that happen outside of the classroom and the seminars. So a large part of your study as an art historian takes place in a lecture theatre and in a seminar room. And that's how we teach you, in larger groups to deliver lectures, and in smaller groups where we have discussions, where we make presentations to each other, where we have small group discussion about images, texts that you've read, artworks that we've been to see together. That's the core of your learning as a student. And it's in relation to those lectures and seminars that you write essays, that you make presentations over the course of your study. Outside of the classroom, we have the research forum, which is a really exciting part of who we are and what we do. It holds about 150 events a year, and this range from research group seminars to activities involving visiting scholars from around the world. And in addition, there's something we call Open Courtauld, which is aimed at a much more wide and diverse audience. So we have scholars, academics, conferences, talks from other art historians and curators and contemporary artists who come and talk to our community, to which you are all always invited. But we also, through Open Courtauld, have much more wide-ranging activities to which you are also welcome, which aim to introduce art and its histories to a wider audience of non-academics. And it's a really vibrant part of who we are and what we do. Now, the Research Forum have moved online during COVID, and they have really exploited the possibilities of what it means to work with a big audience online. And some examples of that are our Open Courtauld Hour, which is an online sort of mini series of hour-long packages of pop-up talks, performances, object studies, sessions that explore the collection of the Courtauld, research and art history, curating and so on. I took part in one on women artists, for instance, and you can look on the Courtauld YouTube channel through the Research Forum, and you can just find examples of lots of us talking and our invited talks to get a taste of the kinds of things that we do. So what other kinds of support do you receive? Well, firstly, you'll have a personal tutor, and you'll also have a lecturer, a member of the academic faculty who you work with on specific courses. But outside of that, what other kinds of support are available to you? Well, we have a dedicated wellbeing manager, and they are supported by a small team of counsellors, study skills tutors who are there to provide all kinds of support and training for our students in how to embark upon research, writing and study. We have disability support. We have faculty dedicated to working with the wellbeing team in order to ensure students have a personal tutor, know who to go to for what and when. We also have literary fund fellows who are here to help you refine and work on your writing. So we have academic skills tutors who are there to help you perhaps with problems or knotty issues, or perhaps more fundamental questions you might have about how to begin making notes from a chapter in a book. How should you keep your notes? How should you organise your thoughts to make an essay? Through to the Royal Literary Fund fellows who are really there to help you refine and make your writing even better. And that's a real treat that we have those in-house working with us and our students at the Courtauld to really help you become the best writers you can be. We also have an amazing careers service and alumni network, as I'm sure you can imagine, and I'll mention that in a moment. And also, of course, we have our own students' union. Now, the Students' Union is really active at the Courtauld, and the reason for that is we are very small. So big universities all have a student union. We are no different to that. But what's amazing is because of our scale, it's very kind of personal. You get to know the people involved in that. And the Students' Union gives you a voice within the Courtauld community, and it builds really strong networks of student-led activities and support. These stretch from before your enrolment. So if you decide to apply and to come and study at the Courtauld, there's opportunities to be engaged by members of our community in advance of arriving, through to various student union enabled what we call peer-to-peer programs of support, so that you're put in touch with other students who can be your kind of peer mentors throughout your study here. After you graduate, you become a member of our really thriving alumni network, which is so important for professional opportunities, for thinking about the careers you might move into, which I can tell you are incredibly diverse as a trained art historian. And the careers service enable all kinds of opportunities for you to network, to meet people. Networking sounds a slightly terrifying word sometimes, but really what it means is a chance to just meet and talk to people who are already doing jobs you might be interested in doing yourself one day, through to meeting people who do something you'd never even known existed as a job, or who might be able to put you in touch with someone who perhaps is of interest to the kinds of areas you might want to move into. And for those of you that really aren't sure what you want to do after your studies, the careers service is the perfect place to just have those conversations. We do all kinds of opportunities for you to talk to people and to think about your life after your study. I think it is our small size that makes our community so unique. It's this which allows for you to become yourself, but also to stand out, to find out who you are among your peers, but also for yourself. And it fosters a really warm atmosphere, and that bridges across year groups, and that's quite unusual in a university. Whether you're in your first year or your third year, students are mixing and getting to know each other across those year groups, and that can be an amazing support network for you when you arrive too. So our new home at Vernon Square, as I mentioned, is just a short walk to Student Central, which is the students' union for all of London universities. And that's got 3 bars, a gym, a huge array of sports and social activities that you can go and join and become a member of. And that's a way that you can really pursue your passions and meet people from across other universities and colleges within the University of London, sports teams, other societies, as well as it being a social space and a massive sports centre for you to use as well. So I've mentioned careers, something that our careers team offer, which I think are really second to none. And I know so many of my students have benefited from this. And this is the one-to-one careers appointments that you can book. And this is to just, these are great. If you have no idea what you want to do, a one-to-one careers appointment is for you. If you've got a few ideas or one dead set idea, these meetings are for you too. And they are really concrete, practical ways of taking the next step towards thinking about what it is you want to do with your career. And you are also able to book practice interviews for if you get a position, to make sure that you are able to prepare yourself best for that, rather daunting experience. There's all kinds of online resources you have access to. There's all kinds of material that the Career Service prepare for our students. And what I think is really exciting about the Courtauld is because we are a specialist institution for the study of art and its conservation and curating, the Career Service is geared towards you in a way that in a larger multi-faculty university, they're catering to students from a range of disciplines, subject areas, faculties, from the arts to the sciences. We are much more kind of bespoke in that way in terms of really trying to find opportunities that match your skill set and your interests. And there are all kinds of events that are booked and organised for you to come along to meet people and to begin to think about, what next. The alumni community is huge, and the Courtauld likes to have parties, and we will do this again. And here are some from slightly cheerier times. This was a big party, a big alumni summer party that was held at the V&A, the Victoria and Albert Museum. We have others giving talks in museums and galleries. And just at the bottom there, you see the artist Jeremy Deller being interviewed as part of the summer party last year. He is an alumni of the Courtauld and is a big supporter of us. And here he is being interviewed last year, and you'll see many staff, students, past and present at these events. They're a lovely chance for us to kind of get together and kind of forge our sense of community with those who have graduated already. The various careers that our students go on to are really wide-ranging, from curators, conservators to art dealers, auction house experts, but also other fields from law. All kinds of entrepreneurs have emerged from our community, publishers, media professionals, teachers, lots of teachers, banking, finance, journalists, business, marketing, communications, fashion buyers, the civil service. There's no end of career opportunities for art history is understood as such a rounded, such a wide-reaching, humanities-based subject that it is very appealing to employers across quite a diverse range of fields, more than you would expect, I think. We've got over 8,000 alumni that we connect with around the world. Huge calendar of events in London, across the UK, also internationally. Many of our students come to study with us from around the world. The access to the Careers and Alumni Network is made open to you for 2 years after you graduate. So even 2 years after you've left us as a graduate of the Courtauld, you can still come back for those mock interviews, for access to those one-to-one supports. We understand that you need us after then, and we're there to support you. You also have lifelong access to our libraries, which is also a really amazing thing, and another great way that ex-students continue to really feel connected with us. I can just show you a little of where some of our students and ex-students work. This ranges from directing and curating in national and international museums, as you can see here, to working across a range of larger multinationals, to all kinds of other charity work, teaching work, and so on. And we are here to support you and take pride in you, and be so excited to see what we can enable you to do after you study with us. And if you want to know any more, find out more about us, there are various ways in which you can do that, through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also through our website, where we keep up-to-date information, and particularly on the student open day hub, where you'll find all kinds of other information that will help you think seriously about what it is you want to do next and where you want to study. So I hope this has been helpful. It's lovely to virtually meet you, and I really look forward to hopefully seeing you again in the near future. Thanks so much. Bye.